The very first presidential primary debates for the 2020 cycle are now over. But last night's round two brought a new twist to the Democratic contest, a twist whose repercussions stretched into today. Lisa Desjardins starts there.
Today, another important stage for former Vice President Joe Biden.
I'd like to say something about the debate we had last night.
In Chicago, talking to Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Push Coalition, he stressed his history working for civil rights and clarified he is not for states' rights on the issue.
These rights are not up to the states to decide. They are federal government's duty to decide.
This after a week of criticism, starting with Biden's words about working in the past with people he disagreed with, and he named two senators known as ardent segregationists. On last night's debate stage, California Senator Kamala Harris raised that directly to Biden.
I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful.
It's a mischaracterization of my position across the board. I did not praise racist. That is not true.
But Harris's most forceful criticism of the former vice president came after she told a personal story about being bused to an integrated public school as a child.
Do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No.
Do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed.
Well, there was a failure of states to integrate public schools in America.
Today, Biden tried to clarify, but stopped short of saying the federal government should have enforced all busing.
I never, ever opposed voluntary busing. And as a program that Senator Harris participated in.
Harris's name is ringing. Hers was the performance that most resonated last night at a Democratic debate watch party in Miami.
I think she was forceful. She was to the point. She was empathetic. She was really sharp tonight.
I think Kamala Harris has a really good chance. I think women are tired of being ignored. I think minorities are tired of being ignored.
But Biden, too, had fans who said he can win with swing voters.
He is middle of the road, and he explains things to them, and he's a centrist.
The debate itself was more raucous than the previous night, with candidates early on speaking over each other in attempts to get time. And there was more heat and challenge. California Congressman Eric Swalwell said Biden had his time in leadership and should step aside now.
Joe Biden was right when he said it was time to pass the torch to a new generation of Americans 32 years ago. He's still right today.
I'm still holding on to that torch.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders aimed to contrast himself with the more moderate Biden, invoking his 2016 battle cry.
Senator Sanders. We need a political revolution. People have got to stand up and take on the special interests. We can transform this country.
South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg tackled questions about how he is handling the shooting of a black man killed by a white police officer there, and why his city's police force has few officers of color.
We're obviously not there yet. And I accept responsibility for that because I'm in charge.
You should fire the chief.
For the second night in a row, candidates showed a divide on health care. The more moderate candidates, like former Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper and Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, pushed back on Sanders' sweeping Medicare for All plan, instead arguing for an optional government-run insurance plan instead.
And that every family and every person in America can make a choice for their family about whether they want a public option.
With a crowded stage and frontrunners getting the most early questions, other candidates, like Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York in particular, fought to insert themselves into the debate.
We are going to talk about health care at length, Senator, but for the moment, my colleague will say, let's continue the question.
I wrote the part in Senator Sanders' bill. I wrote the part in Senator Sanders' bill that is the transition, which merges what the two senators said.
Political outsiders, author Marianne Williamson and entrepreneur Andrew Yang spoke the least. Yang said today his microphone was turned off most of the night, a charge NBC flatly denied. Both raised ideas not brought up otherwise, including this from Williamson on race.
And the Democratic Party should be on the side of reparations for slavery for this very reason.
All 10 candidates agreed on one significant issue, that their health care plans would cover undocumented immigrants. The Democratic candidates will share the debate stage again next month.